Hello, in today's video I'm gonna try to fix my Saeco Odea espresso machine. I've had this for about probably good 30, maybe even 14 years, and I think the grinder is not working properly and it just got stuck, and I'm gonna have to take it apart and see what's going on. So let me show you the symptoms. So when I turn the machine on, as you can see, those two lights are blinking, and now after a few seconds we should be able to see the nozzles getting clean, but I'm gonna see a bunch of errors over here because I think the grinder gets stuck. So water is heating up. So the water is coming out, so the pump is working. Now when I want to grind coffee, see what happens. See, nothing. And those two lights are blinking like crazy. Yesterday actually there was a little movement of the grinder and then it would stop, so I'm gonna take it apart, see what's going on. So first, before you can even get into the inside, you need to take a couple of things from the outside. So we need to pull this ring. You just pop it off. Okay, now the front part cover, you push it from the bottom and it snaps off. Okay, that's not a part. Now we have two screws on the bottom which we need to unscrew to get the front cover. After removing two screws that hold this plastic part right here, you can just go and pull this off. Now you can just pull the steaming knob. There are two parts, inside and outside. Now we need to take this cover off, so there is a very long screw holding that plastic part, so make sure you don't mix your screws. Now to open the back and split it, you need to lift it up, and there is a little screw inside which we need to remove before we can open the back. Now you have to work it from the back before you need to remove. There is a little sensor over here. You need to go past that steaming plastic part and you pull it out this way until it pops off, and now the front is exposed. The outside cover is held by 1, 2, 3 screws, and then basically what you have to do is just to leave this part up, and then this will start separating, and also in the back. So this is how both pieces join together. Okay, and then all you do is just lift it up gently, and this whole thing is gonna be removed. And now I have separated both parts. You cannot move the whole thing together as one piece because this connection for the power is right here, so you need to remove it, and then now you should be able to remove both parts. And now I have removed the cover from the grinder, and I just need to inspect, see what's going on, and then when I find what the problem is, then I'm gonna let you know. So first I just need to go and do the inspection. Now, in order for me to get better access to this whole motor, I have to pay attention to the connection wires. We have two wires. One is white and the other one is black. So I'm gonna disconnect them, but not to get confused, I'm just gonna write that this is white right here and the black is gonna be on this side. So black is gonna be on this side, So when I disconnect the cable, I'm not gonna make a mistake connecting them the wrong way the next time I'm gonna put everything together. Important tip: when you want to remove the connector, there's a little level right here that you push down and then you're gonna remove it. Okay, so you push on this thing and this will release. And there is another small connector you pull out of here. It's just the sensor connector. Now I've taken everything apart. Another step that I want to find out is whether this motor is working or not. The easiest way is when you have your multimeter, minuses on the bottom, pluses on the top. I'm gonna connect my leads to the leads connectors on the motor, and what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to rotate the motor and see if it creates electricity. So if I'm gonna see any movement over here, that means that the motor is working. Otherwise, I know that the motor will have to be replaced. So when I move it, I don't know if you can see it, I'm getting some electricity. That means that the motor is working properly. So the reason my coffee maker is not working is not because of the motor. Motor is working fine. I've already cleaned the grinder. You have two pieces, ceramic blades, and to deassemble that you have a little arrow over here. Take a pictures before you deassemble everything, and then this arrow is pointing right here. To put it back together, it will have to be a little bit off center, and then we need to push this button that holds those gears right here. You can see that those gears are moving. Okay, so I'm gonna put it back together, align everything, and then just have to push it down and turn it this way to get it back in place, which is not easy. Now a little trick how to put this wheel back together. Once you push it in, we have locking teeth right here. So instead of just holding that with your finger, I've decided to just lock it with this. This will basically release. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, see right now you can release those teeth right here. That will allow you to turn this whole wheel. So lock it in, and then you can rotate it, and then you can put it back together. Remember that this mark should correlate with this part right here. After doing some research for last couple of days on how to fix this motor, because every time I try to connect it, it still doesn't work even though I clean it thoroughly. And I think I finally found the reason. So there are, let me give you a close-up. So this motor seems like it's fine. When I rotate it and I put my multimeter, I'm getting a voltage. But there is one more thing that I did not check. So if you can see, there is a spring that connects this lead with the brush that is connected to the motor. So as you can see, everything is fine over here, and if I touch my multimeter between those 2 points, I'm going to hear the beep, right? So I'm gonna touch this. So that means everything's fine. But on the other side, now we can see that the brush is connected with the spring, but it like barely touches this lead, which makes basically this motor not working properly. So let me connect my leads and then I will demonstrate what's going on. So when I connect the multimeter to the spring, I get the beep, okay? But if I connect this to the lead, there is nothing. So now you can see that even though the spring looks like it's touching the lead, it's a break. So I need to fix this, and that's probably what causes my grinder not to work. So now my plan is to go and connect the spring with the leads, and so I cut a little copper wire and I roughen that surface up a little bit, and I'm going to go and solder this copper wire to the lead to create the contact point, and we'll see if this is going to fix my problem. If you do not feel comfortable doing those things, please find a local repair guy who can do it for you. I don't take any responsibilities for any blown houses or coffee makers. Do it at your own risk. And as you can see, I have soldered this copper wire to the leads, and I'm gonna check if I have a actual connection. So this is, I have it. So I'm gonna connect it to brushes, and now finally I have a connection between the brush and the leads. So this is probably what caused my espresso machine to malfunction, that this wire after 13 actually years just broke, and there was no connection going to the grinder motor. So it turned out that the spring that connects the brush to my motor was broken, so I fixed it. And now, before you put everything together, there is a service mode, the option that you can do. You have to enable it to double check everything if it's actually working before you put everything together. So how do you get into service mode? So in Saeco Odea, you need to hold the steam button and you power it up, and then you're gonna see the lights blinking in counterclock direction. So I'm gonna hold this, power it on, and you'll see this is turning. Now I'm gonna let it go. Now we have a couple of other options depending on position of this wheel. So it could be here, here, or over here. So we have 3 different positions. If you want to know more about it, send me an email. I'll be more than happy to send you the manual with how this works. But I just want to show you how to check the grinder motor in this position. So once we are in the test mode, this position has to be all the way to the left, and I'm gonna push the steam button. And you can see that it's working. So this was my problem, that the motor just didn't have a power. Very easy, simple solution. So you don't need to throw out your espresso machine. You can always fix it. So after fighting with this machine for about a week, during the evenings, I finally fixed it. So now the only thing that it's left to do is to do the nice and deep cleaning, make sure that everything's functioning properly, and now I'm gonna put it back together. Okay, so I finished putting everything together. I hope my machine is working, so let's test it. Now, the grinder should work without the coffee, so let's see. Okay, it's working. So the only problem that I had was broken connector between the motor and the brushes. If you have the same problem, now you know what to do. If you don't feel like fixing that yourself, go to the local repair shop. On the bottom of the video, I'm gonna give you more links to my other Saeco repair videos, troubleshooting and maintenance. If you have any questions, send me an email. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.